experienced European up-and-comer with 16 wins in 21 fights, Finland's Anton Kuivainen brings a well-rounded attack to the octagon tonight, as he's finished 8 opponents by submission and 4 by knockout. In his first UFC bout against Justin Salas, Kuivainen came up short on the scorecards, but he impressed nonetheless. Saskatchewan's Mitch Clark lost his debut as well to John Cholish, but this gifted submission artist wanted to get back to work as soon as possible, and he promises not only a better performance, but a victory against an equally ambitious foe. Coming up next, Anton Kuivainen battles Saskatoon's Mitch Clark.
Our tale of the tape for this lightweight fight, Anton Kuivainen. 28 years old, 2 years the elder of the Canadian. He is 2 inches shorter. Clark will have a slight reach advantage. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Now when the action begins, our referee in charge, Josh Rosenthal.
Josh Rosenthal, our referee. The beautiful Brittany. Set to get things started, Mitch Clark and Anton Kuivainen.
You ready? Let's fight.
And here we go. Blue trunks for the Finn, Anton Kuivainen. Mitch Clark, the Canadian, is in the red trunks.
Kuivainen is ripped. I mean, that kid looks like he's about 4% body fat.
Shredded after the weigh-ins.
Yeah, that is a big 155er.
Nice
lot
counter.
of muscle tone on him.
Yep, nice counter left there, Joe.
Well, this is a great fight for him stylistically, because the issues that he had in his first fight were mostly against the wrestling, and Mitch Clark immediately recognizing that, he's watched the tapes and goes for the single right away. And he got him down. Nicely done by Mitch.
Mitch Clark does have a wrestling background. He's trying to grab that ankle and get him all the way on his back.
Yeah, this is a great fight for him to see whether or not he's patched up Kuivainen, to see whether or not he's patched up the holes in his game. And for Mitch Clark, he saw Kuivainen had problems with wrestling, immediately goes right to that. And he's got him down. And Kuivainen is showing some good skills up against the cage, avoiding getting put on his back, trying to bounce back up to his feet and trying to hold that left leg down. And Mitch Clark now, he's got it wrapped up around the hips, and he's got to make his way up the torso, trying to climb his way up Kuivainen's torso and pin him down.
Joe, there's an example of the little things in MMA that aren't often talked about. He went from one leg to getting both legs and now the hips. That's excellent wrestling technique.
Yeah, and as we said, he's moving upward.
Yes.
He's trying to, and while he's doing that, Kuivainen is trying to pin his back up against the cage, and now he's trying to hit a switch. Kuivainen using that cage, and now he's up, and Mitch Clark's got his back here and down. Very nicely done, and takes his back. He's got over-under control here.
The crowd here, and Alberta reacts.
And Kuivainen rolls to a half guard.
Watch the neck.
Doesn't have 2 hands to get connected yet. And back up, and Kuivainen takes him down. Nicely done.
And now he's going to try to get to top position.
Well, he made a mistake right there.
Yeah, he had side control, right?
He had side control, and he tried to move too quickly, and that's the signs of an inexperienced grappler. Hold the position first. Once you know you have the opening, then jump. He immediately made a sort of a half-hearted move to mount and got stuck. First in half guard, now in full guard. But he had him in total side control.
Yeah, instead of advancing his position, he ended up giving his opponent an opportunity to go back to half guard.
Yeah, you gotta always take your time when you're passing.
Good right hand.
When you get a good dominant position, hold that spot before you move to the next spot.
Kuivainen, though, taken down once, then he fought off the attack of Clark, reversed, and now he's on top.
Kuivainen stuck here in full guard. And Mitch Clark looking for an armbar. Kuivainen better be careful here. He's leaving his arms out. Let's see what kind of guard Mitch Clark has. Because Kuivainen, he's making all sorts of mistakes with his arms. Extending them, leaving them under, and Mitch Clark. You know, I always try to judge people's guards based on the most dangerous guard. When I look at a guy like Paul Sass, you know, he's one of my favorites because when he's on his back,
nice hammer fist. Watch the arm. He's got to watch the arm though.
Nice.
Can he finish it right here? Looking to lock it in.
It looks like he's got it. Oh, he let it go. He let it go to stay on top.
He ate some punches on the way, too.
But what he never did, Mike, was get the leg across the face to control. But he's got his back.
And he's got a hook in. Cuivanen in defense mode now.
He's got a hook in, and he's got an underhook on the left side.
Cuivanen landed some shots.
And he's got both hooks in now.
Then almost got his arm tangled up, and
he's
now
gonna go for a Kimura.
Yep, now he's trying to work it again.
And Cuivanen did a nice job there of stepping down with his left knee to try to trap his arm there. Because what Mitch Clark wants to do is pull that arm out and up towards the shoulder.
6 career victories by submission for Clark, 6 of his 9 wins.
Arm triangle attempt here, and back into the guard. It looked like he was trying to turn into an arm triangle.
Final 30 seconds of round 1.
Cuivanen has an arm trapped. He had it at least, that right arm.
First prelim of the night, and this building's already loud. Gonna look to posture up. Round 1 complete. Some really good ground exchanges in the first round. There's John Crouch from the lab in Glendale, Arizona. Benson Henderson's trainer.
Give me. It's a really good round. I want you to move your head when you're coming in. I caught you a little bit with that right hand of his. It's because you weren't slipping when you come in. Come in offline. Everything on the ground is good. And don't rush. Coach.
Let's take a look at that armbar attempt by Mitch Clark. I'll talk you through it. He turns his hips here, traps the left arm, spins, and where he lost it is if you look at his feet, he does not have the foot across the neck. He does not have control of the upper body. And, you know, he was just trying to hold on to the arm and perhaps just finish it off anyway in the scramble. Couldn't do it and then just decided, let me just take his back here and at least try to stay on top.
Gentlemen, let's fight.
But an excellent attempt there by Mitch Clark.
Scored 2 takedowns, did Clark in round 1.
Look lower. Aim for the chest.
Clark from Edmonton in the red.
You're 2 there.
The Finn from Helsinki in the blue. Anton Cuivanen, both fighting for the second time in the UFC.
And this is a really well-matched fight, too. You know, both of these guys are very commensurate in their skill levels. Mitch Clark being the better grappler, Cuivanen perhaps having an edge in the standing.
It's always,
but both at the same stage, the relative stage of their careers.
And Cuivanen had a 9-fight win streak when he first entered the octagon. Mitch Clark was 9-0 when he first fought in the UFC.
Very nice single by Mitch. And Mitch is turning into him now, but Cuivanen gets right back to his feet. Cuivanen's very strong, Mike. Look at that, he's hitting that Kimura.
You're good.
He's got the arm through it. He's trying to hip
Jump
bump
over
him.
the leg, 1/2
But he just does not have that technique down yet. But in trying to hip bump him, he didn't fully commit to one or the other. He didn't commit to that Kimura.
Try to soften him up.
I think Mitch Clark has felt the ground skill of Cuivanen, and he seems very comfortable.
Feels he's got a definitive edge here.
Yeah, well, Cuivanen is a notch or 2 below him, and as far as ground technique goes, and he knew that after Cuivanen lost that side control quickly, and how he was able to control him on the ground and almost get him in that armbar. So I think Mitch is very confident in his grappling chances in this fight. Oh, look at that! Beautiful technique there. Lost the position, held on to the arm, and rolled with it. Cuivanen on top now, though.
It looked like Cuivanen was going to get full top. Now he's going to switch towards this look at the choke.
But he only has one hand on it, and Mitch knows that.
Good wrist control.
Now he's got 2 hands controlled. He may perhaps go to what we call the Marcelo guillotine, where you slide one leg in between the legs, and now he's on top here with it. He's going to try to crank his neck. Very hard to get this, especially in half guard when you're on the side of a guy like that. But you can do something called the Japanese necktie by altering the grip. He's on top here, head and arm control. Now Mitch being controlled by Kuivanen. Let's see if Mitch can reverse the position. Perhaps taking a little breather here. Now he's making the move to sweep. He'll go deep with the underhook on the left-hand side, Mike, and then try to connect his arms together. He's got them together under the leg. He's choosing to go leg first. A lot of guys do it around the waist instead, but he's going, because of his wrestling, he's going right back to a single and standing up with it.
Joe, in the first round when Kuivanen had some nice ground and pound, he almost got his arm caught, and Mitch Clark almost finished the fight with an arm bar, and he hasn't really looked for as much ground and pound here on top in the second round.
Well, he was leaving his arms out there, and I was talking about it as it was happening. I was like, and now he's got his back.
Nicely done by Clark. He'll look to put him on his back
drops
again.
Him again. Look at that, beautiful. He hit him with the same technique that Mitch hit him with. He held onto the arm and rolled him. Very nicely done. Kuivanen learning on the fly.
Something we often don't see. We've seen it twice, once by each man here. So Kuivanen spending a lot of time in top position here in round two.
Gotta work, gentlemen.
Trying to posture up. Missed with the right. Elbows from the bottom by Mitch Clark. Much more even with the grappling here in round two, Joe.
I think, yeah, Mitch is getting a bit tired. And Kuivanen is doing a real good job of staying in the top position. Now Mitch is going
nice up kick.
Oh, very nice.
Wow, he rocked him.
But they're playing footsies here, and Kuivanen is in the better position. Kuivanen is very close to a heel hook on the left leg. Let's see if Mitch can ride this out.
He got staggered by that up kick.
Yeah, he's getting a hold of his left leg with his own hands. The leg is now Kuivanen's leg's in jeopardy now.
Well, that was a much more even round on the ground.
Wow, that was crazy. They're exchanging punches from what we call the 50-50 position.
Käsitistumaan ja happeen. Okei. Nyt sit pitää lähteä ottelemaan lopetuksesta. Okei. Selvä homma. Voi olla, että on mennyt kaksi Clarkelle. Siitä pitää ainakin nyt lähteä. Nyt pitää lähteä ottaa lopetuksesta. Ja pysyt matos hyvin putaan.
All right, let's take a look at some of the action in that round. Starting with how Mitch Kuivanen drops down for the Kimura, rolls and gets on top. And now here's a beautiful up kick by Mitch Clark. And Kuivanen and him battle from a leg lock position. Very excited and high five each other after punching each other in the face.
Look who is back, the beautiful Logan Stanton and Rochelle Leah, all here tonight in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
All right, gentlemen, last round. Let's fight.
With the effort Kuivanen put in the second round, this is a very even fight as we begin the third and final round.
Well, we definitely saw him have more success in the grappling in that second round. It seemed like Mitch Clark had a big advantage in the grappling, but I don't know if he got tired in that second round or what it was, but Kuivanen definitely did better in the wrestling exchanges than he did in the first round.
It's almost like he heard you, Joe, because right when you said that Clark felt comfortable, he had a definitive advantage on the ground, Kuivanen started to turn it up.
Oh no, looks like he got caught low there as he's going for that takedown. He's got the leg.
See if Clark can complete the takedown here. He has completed 3 takedowns in the fight. Kuivanen's earned top position from reversals.
And Kuivanen spun him, look at this. Very nicely done by Kuivanen. I like how he did that.
So he scores the takedown here early in the third. The crowd trying to cheer on their own.
Kuivanen doing a good job of turning that corner and staying on top, and now he's got Mitch's head trapped there. Lands a couple of nice left hands to him. Staying on top, heavy on the neck, sprawled out. He looks like he's going for the guillotine. That's the Marcelo guillotine. He lost it, but staying on top, holding on to the neck.
Very closely contested on the ground.
Now he's holding side control. Now you see this time he's not trying so quickly to jump to the top position and try to mount him. Holding side control. Get him so you know when you go to make that move to advance your position, you have it down tight. Looking for an arm triangle, Kuivanen is. He's got his leg trapped in there though. And Mitch tried to reverse him there. Kuivanen seems to be the more physically strong man, Mike.
And you noticed that right away, Joe.
Well, he's shredded.
Yeah.
Dude looks really big for 155 pounds.
Trying to control Clark here in the third.
Mitch is trying to go for a Kimura, and again, Kuivanen just tucks that arm in. You're allowed to grab your own shorts to defend in this sort of a situation. You're never allowed to grab your opponent's shorts, but you can grab your own to protect your arm. And Kuivanen is doing just that right now. And Mitch is trying very hard to pull that out. It's hard to pull it out though when you're really tired, and he's really slippery, so he can't get that leg around the neck and use that as a leverage point. He's trying hard though. He's got a hold of the arm. He's got the double wrist lock position, which is half the battle. Now it's all about pulling that arm out from in between the two legs. Kuivanen is no longer holding on to his shorts. So Mitch, if he has any energy with pulled it right out of there.
Nice left hand, too.
That was good timing. He must have sensed that Mitch was relaxing a little bit, because the Kimura, there's a lot of physical energy involved in trying to pull that off, a lot of strength involved. And if your opponent senses that you're relaxing even for just a little bit. Kuivanen going to the back here. And Mitch got the leg and uses it to spin him around, but Kuivanen right back up and hits him with a nice knee.
Kuivanen has done more damage with his ground strikes and with the exchanges on the feet. Another good punch thrown there.
Well, Kuivanen has maintained the top position for most of this round. So even when Mitch has attempted to take him down, all that struggling resulted in him being on the bottom.
Right, and another punch landed.
And Kuivanen is almost out here.
To the body.
Mitch is very scrappy though. Look at him go. Look at that. And Kuivanen goes with it and rolls him.
In the first round, when he had that same position, he worked his way up the legs to the waist and put him on his back. Hasn't been able to do that in the second or the third.
He has noticeably tired, Mike. And look at him here. Just laid back with his head on the mat and opened his mouth wide. It was a very physical fight.
Yeah, it's turned out to be somewhat of a wrestling grappling matchup here between Kuivanen and Clark. There's another left. And a right hand.
Just it seems to be, he's tagging him, Mike.
Yeah, over and over.
Kuivanen just seems to be the guy in better physical condition. And Mitch is going for that leg. Now that's when it gets really dangerous, when you're tired and you're going for a leg, because you are committing both of your arms and your leg to the one limb of your opponent, which leaves your opponent's hands free to punch you in the face. And Mitch is bleeding now.
Slipped through.
And he gets tagged again.
Dominant third round by Anton Kuivanen.
Big knee.
My!
Oh,
and to the body. The Finn finishes strong as Kuivanen and Clark go the distance in their second UFC fight.
Great fight, man.
Great fight, man.
We showed you the ground control earlier in this fight, and it was very close between Kuivanen and Clark. And there you see, look at the total strikes landed. Definitive advantage for the Finn. And what was once 3-0 in takedowns ended 3-2, and almost 8 minutes of ground control time for Anton Kuivanen, our fight summary.
And there's in the early round, we saw great grappling skill being displayed by Mitch. And here he hits that arm bar, spins him, doesn't get the left leg across the face and loses the position. And there's that beautiful up kick that dropped Kuivanen as he was going for a leg lock attempt. And here's the third round where Kuivanen's conditioning and strength really started to come on strong. A lot of ground and pound, hit him with some real solid shots, and this is the end of the fight. Big right hand by Kuivanen.
Hoping that he has earned his first career UFC victory.
Thank you, Calgary.
They await the judges' rendering of their decision.
Hey, it's so much fun.
Kuivanen and Clark get things started here tonight in Calgary.
Looks like they had a good time in there.
Yeah, they did. Closely contested battle. With the official decision, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score this contest 29-28, Kuivanen, 29-28, Clark, and 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Anton Kuivanen.
Winner by split decision, Anton Kuivanen, earning his first career UFC victory here tonight on a night when we've got a great bunch of fights for you. Both Daniel Pineda and Antonio Carvalho feel that they can be the next big thing at 145. Tonight, one man will take the next step forward.
One of the top featherweights in the world, even before the division made inroads in North America, Antonio Carvalho finally made it to the UFC, battling it out for 3 hard rounds with Brazil's Felipe Arantes. Now that his debut is over with, the skilled Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt has one thing on his agenda: getting his first UFC win. Daniel Pineda didn't just get 1 octagon victory in his rookie year, but 2, as he submitted Pat Schilling and Mackin Semazir. Now, the Texan wants to get number 3 for the year when he makes his Canadian debut tonight. Coming up next, Oshawa, Ontario's Antonio Carvalho takes on Daniel "The Pit" Pineda.
Our tale of the tape for this featherweight fight. Daniel "The Pit" Pineda, 26 years old, 7 years younger than the Canadian, who is 2 inches taller. The reach is identical. Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mario Yamasaki.
Mario Yamasaki, our referee. And Brittany here tonight with Rochelle and Logan. Little homecoming here in Calgary. First time the Octagon has been here in the Saddledome.
Here you go, first round, you ready?
Pineda and Carvalho. And we are underway. Black trunks for Antonio Carvalho. Blue trunks for the Pit, Daniel Pineda. Pushes forward early. That kick was checked. Nice combination.
I'm noticing Carvalho right away is looking more comfortable in his feet than in his Octagon debut.
Well, Joy, he connected on the jab, then followed with the right, and the kick was solid.
Yeah, he just looks a lot smoother with his stand-up.
Oh! Coming in, he caught him with the kick.
He's got him in the front headlock. He let go of it.
Nice
knee to the body by Pineda.
Good exchanges already here, just 30-plus seconds into the fight.
Good head movement there by Carvalho. I love how he ducked under those shots and countered.
Countered with the right hand that landed.
Yeah, Carvalho looks much more comfortable in his feet, Mike. And as we said, that was what was the difference in the Arantes fight, was the stand-up. And it looks like that is something he's worked very hard to improve. Very nice! Right hand!
With the uppercut!
That's it!
It is all over!
Wow!
Just like that!
Outstanding stand-up
Counter
by
right
Mr. Carvalho.
uppercut, and it's done!
Pineda's still wobbly, Mike. He's standing up, but someone should sit that young man down. He got caught with a head kick, and then he got caught with a beautifully placed punch. Let's take a look at it.
Joe, that was the head movement again of Carvalho to avoid, and then he connected.
His stand-up just looks so smooth. From the moment when the referee said fight, you could tell this young man has put in a lot of work.
And the Canadian crowd loves it. He hurt him early.
Let's take a look at it here again. Head kick to the face, caught him with the toes, but on the jaw. Now look at this, left hook. Look at this head kick, boom, right hand. I mean, just clean, and again and again. Beautiful technique by Antonio Carvalho. Let's look at it again. Look at this right hand. Boom, perfect position, steps. He's still there, cracks him again, and then one more time before Mario Yamasaki rescues him. I mean, he didn't even know Mario was holding on to him. He's so focused on finishing that fight.
And finish he did. Antonio Carvalho with the victory. Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki's called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 11 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Antonio Pato Carvalho.
I'm here with the winner, Antonio Carvalho. Antonio, first of all, congratulations on your first official UFC victory. How good does that feel?
I got a little emotional at the end, but well, listen to this. Look at this.
One of the things that we were commenting on from the moment the fight started was how good your stand-up looks. That must be something you've been working on a lot lately.
Yeah, I got a great kickboxing Thai coach, Joseph Altolini. He's a fantastic kickboxer himself, and he worked extensively on my extension and me staying loose. You know, a lot of things that I made a mistake in my last fight, I didn't want to make it this time against him. Daniel's an amazing fighter. Guys, he took this fight on short notice. Just remember that. He came out here to fight, and you got to give a man props for that. He came into our backyard and fought. I respect this man big time.
Let's take a look at your handiwork, sir, because this was really an outstanding stoppage. You caught him with a very clean right hand here as he was moving forward, and that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, you know, just, again, my training, seeing the openings and firing, and that's what I do. Yeah, and that's it.
Well, congratulations on a spectacular victory. Antonio Carvalho, ladies and gentlemen.
Very classy in victory tonight, Antonio Carvalho, thanking Daniel Pineda for taking the fight on short notice. Pineda finished in 1 minute and 11 seconds as Carvalho earns his first career UFC victory. For Mitch Gagnon, fighting Brian Caraway right here on Canadian soil is simply an added bonus.
Following in the UFC footsteps of Mark Hominick, Claude Patrick, and Sean Pearson, another Ontario standout is here to make his mark. As Sudbury's Mitch Gagnon debuts tonight against Brian Caraway. 8-1 in his career thus far, Gagnon has scored submissions in each of his wins, with his guillotine being a particularly deadly weapon. That's nothing Brian Caraway hasn't seen throughout his nearly 7-year pro career. And after 2 fights apiece in Strikeforce and the WEC, and a debut UFC win by submission over Dustin Neese, Caraway has experience and momentum on his side. Coming up next, Sudbury, Ontario's Mitch Gagnon faces Brian Kid Lightning Caraway.
Our tale of the tape for this bantamweight fight, both Caraway, the American, the Canadian Gagnon, 27 years old. Brian Kid Lightning Caraway, 3 inches taller than Mitch Gagnon. Caraway fighting tonight for the first time at 135, not just in the UFC, first time ever at 135. Here's Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Loving.
Yves Levine, our referee. Look who's back, the beautiful Rochelle Leah. Set to get things started here in Calgary. There's Logan Stanton and, of course, Brittany. Brian Caraway, Mitch Gagnon. And here we go. Blue trunks for Caraway. Red and black for Gagnon.
Caraway with a nice left hook. He landed a right hand earlier.
Pushing forward again with that right hand.
Gagnon goes for the single, spins, gets the back of Caraway, trying to get a hook in. Caraway blocking smartly and back up to his feet. Nope, stuffed down again.
Joe, both men are very talented on the ground. Gagnon with all his wins by submission.
Caraway rolled very nicely into guard here. Full guard.
Caraway with 14 of 16 wins by submission. This could be quite the chess match from this position.
Gagnon is trying to pass by holding onto the foot of Caraway and passing over that side, but Caraway got that foot free, and he's eating some leather there.
Gagnon very explosive here early.
He's trying to can opener, and that can be used as a submission, but most of the time it's just used to open up the guard. And spins to an armbar.
Wow.
Looks very good. And he's going to hold this position. He'll take his time here. Caraway is very experienced. What he wants to do is hold on to the leg, and he's doing it the correct way, Mike. See how he's holding down the ankle? That's to keep Gagnon from being able to step up. But Gagnon's doing a smart thing, too, putting all that pressure on the neck. Looks like Gagnon's out. Yep, he's out. Good job by Gagnon. And both guys very calm and patient in that situation.
Well, there's that great grappling credentials we talked about. But the big ground and pound turned in by the Canadian.
Oh, Gagnon's landed some heavy hands here, Mike.
Fully postured up, and he continues to beat down Caraway.
Caraway's in trouble. A couple of those left hands got through, Mike. And he paused for a moment there.
Man, Gagnon raining down damage. Now the elbow. Postured up. Now he's standing up.
Nice pass by Gagnon. Holding on to the front choke, and Caraway back to his feet.
Nice knee.
And as Caraway was setting up for the knee, Gagnon didn't even hesitate. He got his off first.
Gagnon exploded into that takedown and then was extremely explosive with his ground and pound. He's a strong, gritty dude.
The possession that Gagnon has Caraway in here. Oh, there it is.
Caraway looked to toss him aside and slipped out. Now he's going to be taken
slams
down.
him. Caraway trying to keep him off of his back here. Gets back up to his feet and looks for some hand control. Try to separate those hands of Gagnon to get free. At the very least, he wants to be able to turn towards Gagnon. He might roll under him here, and he's up, and he's out. And now Caraway standing.
Gagnon almost a 3-1 advantage in strikes landed here early in the fight. And Caraway having difficulty keeping up with the pace of Gagnon here early. Of course, 145 is a pretty fast division as well, but go to 35, things happen even quicker. Gagnon with another knee. He's utilized the clinch nicely. Threw a knee to the midsection before, looked to land another. Caraway
good combination by Caraway. Caraway shoots for the double, and he gets it.
And now the question becomes, Joe, this pace that Gagnon has set, has it been too quick of a pace early?
Right, and is he going to be able to keep him off him for this last 50 seconds? Caraway makes a move to try to pass here. He's being very aggressive. He should know there's not much time on the clock. What is he doing? He's put his thumb in his eye.
A lot of significant strikes landed in the first round by the Canadian Mitch Gagnon. But now he's on the bottom.
He's trying to pass, pressing down with that shin and instep to try to pry out that left leg. Kick
Almost
it free.
free.
He's got to kick it free. He's
15.
He's got to push off the right leg of Gagnon with his left.
Got it.
His right, rather. Now he's
got
mounted.
the mount with 10 seconds left in round one. A lot of Mitch Gagnon early, but Caraway finishes the round on top.
Sit down. Get some breaths in. You got plenty of time. Very good. There you go. You're feeling fading. That's what you got to capitalize on.
In for 4, out for 4. Sí, esa. Okay. Grand respire. Et expire. Beau, grand. T'es pas fatigué? Lui, mort. OK? Comment tu te sens? Correct? Tu sais ce que tu vas faire? Ouais? Oublie pas, il va commencer avec ton deux.
Mitch Gagnon, Brian Caraway. Set for the start of round number 2. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Gagnon came out storming.
Guns a-blazing, but Caraway was mounting him at the very end of the round. It's going to be interesting to see where they pick up here in the second. Because I still think Gagnon probably won the rounds in the eyes of most logical judges, whatever that means. But I think that Caraway was coming on strong at the end and got the mount, and it looked like he had weathered the early storm of Gagnon, and I'm seeing that in Gagnon right now. I'm seeing a stiff guy. I'm seeing a guy who probably has used up a lot of energy, and his muscles are filled up with blood right now.
Well, look just how much bigger his frame is as he connects on Caraway, though.
Yeah, but even the way he's holding his arms, he looks like he's filled with blood. There's a way that a guy starts to look when you know that he's kind of exhausted. It doesn't mean that he still can't crack you, but it's going to be more difficult for him than it was in the first round, where he was absolutely dynamic.
Good in this. You know what? He's really good in these tight positions, utilizing the clinch, throwing knees, and he landed the elbow there.
Yes, he is, but he's got 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And these explosive exchanges by Gagnon eat up a lot of energy. He used up a lot of energy in the ground and pound as well. Landed some real good shots, though, on Caraway. Nice knee by Gagnon. Oh, Caraway got many tagged. Of those. Caraway might be hurt, Mike.
Yep, trying to close it out here. There's a left hand and another knee. Gagnon smells it.
And Caraway's got him down. Gagnon looking for a guillotine. Hanging on tight. He's hanging on tight. Lost it. Caraway on top, though.
And Caraway now you've got a man who just threw a bunch of punches, and Brian Caraway on your back.
Yeah, he's got a guy that was exhausted to start the round, and he blew out 2 whole minutes of kinetic force. A lot of blood coming off the left ear. Man, this is like a chunk missing off of his ear. You see that?
Careful with
Nasty.
the finger.
Yep.
Oh, I think it was just blood.
Now
it looked like it was a chunk missing. But
and now you got Mitch Gagnon, who's trying to get his win back, and Caraway trying to break him down, get that arm in position to choke him out and finish his fight.
Well, Caraway's looking 2 ways too here, Mike. He's looking to either take his back if he gives up his back, or mount him, depending on how he moves. But he's going to stay heavy on him, and he's going to keep punching him until Gagnon moves. So you see, he gets his head up, Caraway looks to choke him. Caraway's very experienced, Mike. He's a very technical fighter. And he knows this is a good opportunity for him. He's got 2 minutes to go in this round, a little bit more than that, and plenty of time to work him over. And at the very least, enough time to leave him absolutely exhausted for the third. Caraway has much more octagon experience, of course, this being Gagnon's debut. And we've said this time and time again, that can be incredibly taxing on a fighter. The only time we saw a guy not have any problems in his debut was Alistair Overeem. And then Anderson Silva.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
It's pretty spectacular. I mean, there's been other times, but for the most part, it's even Rampage had a hard time his first UFC fight. Okay, now Caraway has a leg across the stomach, which he will then turn into a body triangle. He's got full back mount here, and he is putting a beating on Gagnon. This could be the beginning of the end. Here. Gagnon is exhausted, and Caraway is coming on strong. And Gagnon is going to try to explode, but in doing so, he's going to make himself even more tired, and Caraway just easily went with that explosion, followed him. He's maintaining that mount. Gagnon tries to hip escape. Caraway follows him and takes his back again.
Great transitions by Brian Caraway. Gagnon came out so quickly, looking to finish this fight with a highlight reel knockout. And then he thought he had Caraway really hurt early in this round as well. And now you see the result of that big burst at the beginning of this second round, trying to finish the fight again.
Caraway is going to go under the chin here. He might go palm to palm. This could be it. This could be it. He got out of it. Very nicely done. Gutsy. Oh, Gagnon spins and gets his back.
Caraway had spent a ton of time in top position. Gagnon trying to choke out Caraway here late.
The whole crowd screaming knees.
Oh, look how exhausted he is though, Joe. Front kick by Caraway. Caraway likes to fake that shot and come over the top with his punches. Saw that earlier.
A nice knee. Great round.
Got a chance to finish this, they'll finish it. Let's not let this hometown.
Keep the pressure. Hey, guys,
let's go. Time to work.
Go grab your back.
Go, 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 go. Stay in your corner, sir, please.
Good battle. 5 minutes remain. Gagnon and Caraway. Both men swinging at the end of the round. Big lead left by Mitch Gagnon. Caraway has that same motion, Joe. He kind of ducks down with his head and then comes over the top with his punches.
And if you look at Gagnon's body, he's clearly holding a lot of blood in those muscles.
No
Looks
question.
very stiff. But he's game.
Making his UFC debut tonight, looking to earn a victory here in his home country.
Caraway's looking for the double. He's got his hands connected. He's got him down. It's going to be a very interesting fight to score, Mike.
Yes.
Because you got to think Gagnon did a lot of damage in the first, but Caraway seemed to have control over most of the second until the end. Now he's got a back triangle on him. With the back mount with the body lock, and that triangle is nasty. Squeezes down your organs, makes it very hard for you to breathe. And for a guy like Gagnon, who's already exhausted, and Caraway just adjusted it, you saw there.
Yeah, well, Caraway definitely weathered some storms in this fight, making his debut at 135.
But this is a nasty position to be in, because Caraway is squeezing down on that, and Gagnon's trying to get out of it. And the best he can do is that. And now he's got the choke. He's got it.
Looking to finish it right here.
Caraway's got it.
Locked in.
Gagnon's trying to peel it off. He is very gutsy, but that's it. He tapped.
Brian Caraway.
Nicely done by Brian Caraway.
Wins by submission with the rear naked choke here in the third round, defeating Mitch Gagnon.
Let's see that replay again. Once he got that body lock on, Mike, he just squeezes down on the abdomen of Gagnon and makes it very hard for him to breathe. Gagnon was already exhausted. Look, Caraway, so smart, covered up his mouth. You see that again? Let's look at that one more time. Because he covered up his mouth, and then when Gagnon went to remove the hand from his mouth because he was exhausted, that's when Caraway snuck the choke in. If we could see that one more time, the one we saw right before this, you get to see how crafty Caraway is. I mean, the kid is a real veteran. Watch this, Mike.
Here.
Watch his hand on the mouth and see how Gagnon goes to peel the hand away. Well, that takes away the defense. Real veteran move by Caraway. Very, very crafty. I enjoyed that.
And he did as well. Brian Caraway with the finish. Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Leving has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 39 seconds of round number 3, declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Brian Kid Lightning Caraway.
15 of 17 career wins by submission for Brian Caraway as he spoils the debut of Mitch Gagnon.
It is that finish. He covers the mouth of an exhausted Mitch Gagnon, and Gagnon, as he tries to remove that hand, gave up the defense, and Caraway went right under the neck. Really beautiful technique by Brian Caraway. Really slicking the blood.
Little BJ Penn there.
Well, that is a BJ Penn move, too, by the way.
Yes, it was. So a lot of BJ Penn from Brian Caraway. Most importantly, he earns the victory. His girlfriend, Misha Tate, a superstar in her own right. In the light heavyweight division, it's the Aussie Anthony Perosh, who has found a new home and new life at 205, looking to earn his 4th straight win as he takes on Ryan Jimmo.
Long considered a top Canadian prospect at 205 pounds, Edmonton's Ryan Jimmo finally gets the opportunity to show that he's a big deal in the UFC's octagon tonight against Anthony Perosh. It's the culmination of plenty of hard work for Jimmo, and though he didn't make it onto the 8th season of The Ultimate Fighter, wins over UFC vets like Wilson Govea and Sokaju show that he's ready for the big show. Looking to play spoiler, though, is the resurgent Perosh, an Australian MMA pioneer who has won 3 UFC fights in a row, finishing them all before the final bell. Coming up next, Edmonton, Alberta's Ryan Big Deal Jimmo squares off against Anthony Perosh.
Our tale of the tape for this light heavyweight fight. The Aussie is 39. The Canadian making his UFC debut tonight. Ryan Jimmo is 30. Anthony Perosh will have a 2-inch reach advantage. And once again, Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge.
That is about as good as you can do. That was just absolutely spectacular. Let's see it again from the beginning in real time. How many seconds was that?
We're going to find out right now, Joe. Let's see what they do. 7 seconds.
One of the fastest in UFC history. Let's take a look at it here. Boom, right over the top. That tied the record for the fastest KO in UFC history. Let's see it again. Bang! I mean, essentially it's over right there. It's just a matter of Josh Rosenthal getting to him in time to stop it. But look at this punch. One punch power. Ryan Jimmo, welcome to the UFC. What a debut.
Bang Ludwig has a little company now. Ryan Jimmo ties the UFC record. Winner by knockout in just 7 seconds. And it's boom right there.
You can't hit a guy any cleaner or harder than that. That was just an absolutely perfectly placed right hand by Jimmo. Look at that. Countered over the jab, perfect punch, and that's a wrap. And the second punch was really just academic. The fight was over right there. I mean, really, it's a matter of Rosenthal being out of position. If he was closer, that would have been a quicker stoppage.
With the official decision, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Josh Rosenthal has called a stop to this contest at 7 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, Ryan the Big Deal Jimmo.
I am here with Ryan Jimmo, and Ryan, you cannot make a more spectacular debut than that. You just tied the record for the fastest knockout in UFC history. How does that feel, man? I know you've worked long and hard to get to this moment. Tell us what's going on right now.
I'm very happy, Joe. I'm very happy. Hi, Mom, I love you.
Let's take a look at it again. Look at it on the big screen and talk us through this. You knew when you connected that was it.
Yeah, you know, I knew if I'm just big and strong guy, so I went at him, and I knew if I throw some heavy leather, he was going to be on the bad end of it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just got an exciting new entrant into the light heavyweight division, Ryan Jimmo. Give it up for him, folks. Congratulations, sir.
Ryan Jimmo, defeated in his first ever pro fight in 2007, Since that point, 17 straight victories, including tonight. 17-1 in his mixed martial arts career. And he earns the knockout in just 7 seconds, and he can dance too. He's got the robot going. Francisco Rivera is back in the UFC. He's going to look to run right through Roland Delorme, but the Manitoba native has other thoughts.
Determined to get back to the UFC after a 2011 loss to Ruben Duran, Francisco Rivera blasted out 2 opponents in less than a combined 2 minutes. And in his return to the octagon, he kept the momentum going with a 3rd-round win over Alex Soto. But in the Ultimate Fighter Season 14 vet, Roland Delorme, Cisco may be facing the biggest submission threat he's seen yet. And if Delorme's stunning finish of fellow Canadian Nick Denis is a sign, it's that he has the chin, heart, and power to go toe-to-toe with the California knockout artist. Coming up next, Francisco Cisco Rivera battles Winnipeg, Manitoba's Roland Delorme.
Our tale of the tape for this bantamweight fight, the Canadian 28. The American is 30. Delorme will have a slight reach advantage. Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mario Yamasaki.
Mario Yamasaki, our referee. Logan Stanton back tonight. Great to see Logan, Rochelle, Brittany set to go. Delorme and Rivera. The Canadian Roland Delorme fighting here tonight in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Blue trunks for Francisco Rivera. Black and red for Roland Delorme.
Francisco clipped him with that uppercut, Mike.
Sure did.
And it was a beautiful uppercut, and then he caught him as he was moving.
Nice stiff jab. Rivera said coming into this fight that he knows that Delorme is a very tough grappler, very good on the ground. He believes he'll try to take him down, but he's going to eat some big punches in the meantime.
Wicked combination by Rivera. He's doing a great job of his distance, Mike, of utilizing the distance, rather.
Shown the uppercut a couple of times already too, Joe.
He goes high with that left kick.
Staying at distance so he can't be taken down, but connecting with great frequency early. Nice counter right. You can see the boxing background of Rivera. Not a lot of wasted motion when he throws his punches.
Yeah, that was a beautiful right leg kick. I was going to say that Delorme has landed a couple of leg kicks, but then Rivera really slammed one home. I mean, what a classic Muay Thai stance and strike. Beautiful uppercuts by Rivera, and he shoves him off.
Quick hands, and again, over and over again.
And again.
And rocked him one more time. Delorme, though, seems to be unfazed so far. Kid's got a good chin.
Amazing. I mean, that's something.
Just got tagged again.
We learned that in the Nick Denis fight.
Absolutely.
That he can take an incredible shot. Nice inside leg kick by Rivera and slides right out of range of the counter.
Joe, that first round between Denis and Delorme was one of the best first rounds of any fight we've been able to call.
I'm really liking how Rivera's moving. It's not just his attacks. It's not just his counters, it's the movement that's the most impressive thing to me. He's just always in his range and outside of Delorme's range. And when he chooses to close the distance, he does it with precision.
And as we showed you on the tail of the tape, the reach is almost identical.
Yeah, look at no wasted movement.
Yeah.
When he's getting out of the way, he's getting just out of the way.
That's the key to the slip.
It truly is, and so many people have a hard time doing that. They have a hard time being comfortable enough to just precisely and accurately gauge the amount of movement. And that efficiency is one of the reasons why, look at Rivera, how relaxed he is in there.
And it leaves you right in position to counter. And counter and do damage.
Look at that right leg kick. That's real Muay Thai right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, is he turning that hip over well.
But don't count Delorme out, because let me tell you something. Delorme gets a hold of him and drag him down to the ground. Delorme should have just as much of an advantage on the ground as Francisco is enjoying here on the feet.
Caught the leg and fired back.
But Delorme's got to figure out a way to turn this into a grappling match.
Yeah, and that last kick hurt Roland Delorme.
Well, the more he takes on that leg, and he's trying to check, brilliantly done by Francisco, timed Delorme's kick and caught him on the supporting leg, and he's eating that left leg up. And Delorme lands one of his own.
And Joe, watch the left leg of Roland Delorme. He's looking a lot more to try to check, and you know, right there, he's almost trying to anticipate the kicks, and that means the kicks are doing damage.
Oh, no question they're doing damage. There's just no question. When you look at the technique, the way Francisco's throwing them, I mean, that is... Oh, Delorme lands a right hand.
Typical Roland Delorme fashion.
Oh, he got tagged there.
This technique, so efficient by Francisco Rivera.
Oh, brilliant.
Keeps your cardio at top level as well because he doesn't waste any motion throwing winging punches. Look at that, just a clean counter.
Yeah, he's not muscling anything.
Nope.
He's doing... Oh, clipped him with the left hook. That's
and
it.
That is it. Hit is all over.
Coming in.
Roland Delorme stopped by Francisco Rivera here in round one.
Francisco Rivera really couldn't have looked any better in this fight. That was just outstanding. One of the best performances I think we've ever seen from him inside the octagon, and just really shows that the guy is continuing to grow. Let's look at this counter. Look at that. Slip, crack. I mean, that is exactly what we were talking about. The movement, the precision of his angles, and the efficiency of his striking. Look, I mean, come on, man. You don't get any better than that. It was picture perfect. Amazing performance by Francisco Rivera. The best we've seen so far from him. One more time, let's see that. Slip, crack. I mean, there's no wasted movement in that.
A great performance tonight by Francisco Rivera with the official decision. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 19 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Francisco Rivera.
I am here with the winner, Francisco Rivera, and I gotta tell you, man, that is as good as we've ever seen you in the octagon, and what a clean performance, man. Your technique, your timing, everything was on point tonight. How happy are you right now?
Man, I'm so happy. First and foremost, thank God. Second, thanks to Sean Shelby and Dana White for bringing me back. I train my ass off every day. And as you guys can see, that's what happens.
Now, let's take a look at the stoppage here, because this was just one part of a beautiful performance, a really masterful performance. Was this a fight where you really felt like you were operating under your full potential inside the octagon?
Yes, definitely. My mom's been sick, so this is the only way to show her that, you know, we're still fighting for her, and this is the way to prove to her that I still love her, and I thank God every day that she's okay. You know, as you guys can see in my performance.
Listen, man, a spectacular job tonight. Can't wait to see you again. Francisco Rivera, ladies and gentlemen.
Francisco Rivera scored 2 knockout wins in between UFC fights in a combined 155. In 2011, tonight, he earns the knockout at 4:19 of the first.
And that is just perfect technique by Francisco Rivera. Hard work pays off, and that is the fruits of labor, ladies and gentlemen.
Francisco Rivera knocks out Roland Delorme.
He lost his chance at glory when an injury took him out of season 11 of The Ultimate Fighter. But after healing up, he has won 2 of his 3 UFC bouts, defeating Ricky Fukuda and James Head. Tonight, he meets Court McGee in a rematch of their Ultimate Fighter bout, looking to prove that his first victory was no fluke. One of 2010's unlikeliest success stories, McGee rebounded from a loss to Nick Ring to win season 11 of The Ultimate Fighter. Yet despite 2 more Octagon victories over Ryan Jensen and Dongyi Yang since the show ended, the Crusher won't be at peace until he gets his redemption against Ring. Coming up next, Calgary, Alberta's own Nick the Promise Ring takes on Court the Crusher McGee.
Our tale of the tape for this middleweight fight, Court McGee, 27 years old. Nick Ring, 33 years old. McGee will have a 2-inch reach advantage. Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Levine.
Yves Levine, our referee. The beautiful Brittany. Nick Ring defeated Court McGee in early 2010 on The Ultimate Fighter. Then he was forced to leave the show due to knee surgery.
McGee just barely clipped him with a head kick there. Caught him with the toes.
McGee in the blue, black trunks for the southpaw, Nick Ring. And then moving on to win the competition was the Crusher, Court McGee. Nick Ring 12-1 in his MMA career. Court McGee an impressive 13-2.
Good left hook counter there landed by McGee.
Ring calls Calgary, Alberta, Canada home. He got clipped on the way in and the crowd chanting his name. Born in Iowa, but raised here in Canada.
Good
off
body
the forearm. Caught the leg.
Good
nice combination. John Hackelman said of Court McGee just a few hours before this fight that Court was really relaxed, Joe. He had a very good camp and is confident that he can defeat Nick Ring here tonight and do it impressively. And a good start for the Crusher. Good sprawls by Ring. To the body.
Good front kick to the body by Ring.
McGee with the counter. McGee on Team Liddell on season 11 of The Ultimate Fighter, and then after the show went right out to the pit and lived with Chuck to train for The Ultimate Fighter finale. Has trained a lot at the Pit Elevated also in Utah. With Jason Mertledge and of course Ramsey Nijum, Jonathan Brookins, Ultimate Fighters have trained there quite often as well. Brookins a winner, looking for the takedown. A lot of good combinations here early by Court McGee. Pretty even thus far in the significant strikes landed.
Nick is throwing kicks, but he's not fully committing to them. He's not putting a lot of steam into them, just sort of getting them out there and landing them. And it could be because he's worried about the counters. This could be trying to set Court up for his own counters, or it could be that he's pacing himself because he knows that Court has spectacular cardio and really comes on strong in the third round.
Yeah, he is a grinder, to say the least.
Well, he uses his cardio as a weapon.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you have that kind of confidence in your ability to push a pace that your opponent can't sustain, it becomes a part of your strategy.
Ring just clipped McGee with that lead left hook, right hook, pardon me. Caught him on the chin,
nice
and now straight left.
That was nice. Good timing there by Ring.
And it came off clipping him with the lead hook. So mixing it up with the hands nicely. Just over a minute on the clock here in the first round. They're going at it, Joe.
They certainly are. Good kick to the body there by Nick Ring. Nick's doing a good job of changing angles as well, Mike. Not always going in the same direction. He goes left and then he shifts and starts moving to his right.
It was a very closely contested fight, majority decision during the taping of The Ultimate Fighter. Some say controversial. Certainly earned McGee a trip back to the competition when Ring fell to injury. Dana White went to Court McGee to give him another chance. He took advantage of it. Final 10 seconds of the round.
Nice kick.
Nice deep breath.
John Hackleman.
Nice deep breath. All right. Good round, good round. All right, good breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Good deep breath. All right, deep breath, breathing. Okay, close round, Court. Instead of, you're starting to follow him when he moves to your right. Okay, either a short reverse punch, okay, or a left hook and a head kick. You got to use more head feints, more head movement, okay, and don't follow
Speaking of left hooks, let's take a look at it here. Here's a nice left hook by Court. Lands clean. And here's a beautiful straight left by Nick Ring that bloodied the nose of Court McGee, and they're working on that nose in between rounds. Nick Ring seemed to be getting his timing down towards the end of that round, Mike.
Both men showcasing their stand-up skills in the first. Couple of takedowns attempted by Ring. No takedowns scored by either man thus far in this fight.
Notice how Court's not following Nick Ring. He's cutting him off. See what he's doing?
Yep.
You know, a lot of guys, young guys, they make the mistake of just following their opponent around, but Court is doing a really good job of changing his angle when Nick is moving to his left and then forcing Nick to move to his right and then changing it back again.
Which is exactly what John Hackleman just told him in the corner between rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah, John is a brilliant cornerman, a brilliant coach, and one of the things that he's so good at is he never loses his cool inside the octagon. He's in there calm, giving clean instructions, and his students rather, have so much faith in him.
And such an integral part of the success of the Hall of Famer, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. They were the dynamic duo for years at the pit in San Luis Obispo, California.
I remember when Court was fighting Ryan Jensen. Ryan had a spectacular first round, and we went back to the corner, and John Hackleman, you know, mid-miss a beat, just calm and relaxed, said, okay, you're going to get him. Your conditioning is going to take over now. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep. The advantage goes to Nick Ring in total strikes landed here with 3.5 left in the second. Looking for the takedown. Nice answer. Both men staying busy with the hands.
But the pressure by Court McGee is very hard to deal with. It's very hard for Nick Ring to try to keep up this pace.
Well, he admitted that his focus in his last camp wasn't up to his own standards. He made sure not to make that mistake coming into tonight. And you can see Court McGee looks sharp again. That quick inside leg kick by McGee. Followed up with the hands.
Nice combination. Well, you know, he fought Costa Philippou in his last fight and oh, nice head kick by Court. And lost a decision to him, but it was a good fight, and he was coming on in the third round. And Costa has proven to be one of the most dangerous stand-up fighters in the 185-pound division. Some of the best boxing that we have here in the UFC right now.
Scored another win a couple of weeks ago, did Costa Philippou.
Against a very tough Ricky Fukuda.
McGee once again cutting off the octagon.
Yeah, nice uppercut by McGee.
McGee's starting to gain momentum here with 2 on the clock in the second.
And by the way, McGee's role of pushing the pace and moving forward is easier to sustain than it is to be moving backward and side to side constantly trying to avoid it. It's more taxing for Nick Ring to deal with the pressure that Court McGee's putting on it than it is for Court to put that pressure on him. We tagged him. He hurt him there.
Once again with a straight left.
Flowing blood, and he backed up. And in backing up, he might have given away his poker hand.
That was the big punch in the first round. Was that straight left by Ring. He's landed it a couple of times.
Yeah, it must have stung Court because it was the first time we saw him back up. Nice.
That's the weapon, southpaw against orthodox fighters, that straight left. Ring has landed it multiple times.
And he goes to the head kick as well. And now you see nice leg kick as well.
Oh,
Oh, he tagged him.
Changed his pacing a little bit.
Court's nose is broken, I think, Mike. He's breathing out of his mouth. Blood is flowing out of his nose.
Kind of stutter step and delivered the left hand again. Under a minute remains here in the second round. McGee was starting to take control, and then a straight left has changed the momentum here.
Oh, he walked right into that.
And wisely, he'll circle the other way.
Yeah, Court is trying to drag him into a brawl, and Nick would like to move around and score shots and fight a more technical fight.
20. Can he get it?
Takedown attempt, no, stuffed.
Stuffed nicely by Nick Ring. That's the first takedown attempt of this fight by Court McGee. Final seconds of the round.
Court McGee just blew his nose, Mike, which is a huge no-no when you have a broken nose, which it looks like it may very well. And when you blow your nose like that, it's possible that your eyes can swell shut.
You stole that round. You stole that round. That was beautiful. Deep breath for me. God, can you hold this ice? Just breathe. You're doing beautiful. Those are your rounds, both of those. I want lots of movement still. Just like that. Deep breath. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
I think, and there's a nice straight left of Nick Ring, and again, and that was the one that made him back up.
Let's go. Seconds out. Stay in your corner, sir. Back. Thank you.
I believe we were looking at Court McGee, but hearing the corner of Nick Ring.
Well, that straight left you showed a second ago and talked about, Joe, changed the complexion of round number 2, and this is a very close fight after 2 rounds. With a flurry early here in the third is McGee. Ring with the counter. Scrappy battle, contested all on the feet thus far.
Yeah, there's only been a couple of takedown attempts, and all of them stuffed.
McGee 4 for 4 with his takedown defense. This Calgary crowd cheering on Calgary's Nick Ring. With the hockey chant, but it's go Nick go.
What is the hockey?
It's usually go Flames go. Nice body. Went body head there, Joe. Again, man, he'll mix it up. Court McGee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punches a moment ago. Nice.
Good exchange.
Ring's really utilized the jab a lot in this fight.
Okay, stop. Time. Go neutral corner. Come over here, quick.
Got a loose piece of tape on the glove, I believe is what's going on here. Take but a second.
Yep.
Thank you. Let's go. Face me.
Our cut man Tate takes care of business, and the action continues.
Oh, another straight left by Nick Ring. Snaps the head back of Court McGee. The Court keeps pressing forward.
Both men
Nice
with the kicks.
Kicks.
Just lost his balance, but right back up his Ring. They both threw the inside leg kick.
He circled into a left hook.
3:15 left in this fight.
Nice uppercuts by Court McGee.
Had the other hand on the back of the neck too. Looking for that same maneuver here.
This is exactly what Court McGee wants. An inside dogfight.
He's a brawler. He's a grinder, and he brings the fight.
Good shot, a right hand, and the Court's making him pay for it.
His cardio is just outstanding. He's a strong guy, too.
Well, he's a strong guy, and he trains at altitude. Oh, spinning back kick goes to the body. He trains at altitude, and he runs the weight vest at altitude.
And at one time he was doing reps with 500 pounds for his deadlifts.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Trying to avenge the Ultimate Fighter loss.
Oh, Nick Ring's
at
in
the
trouble.
hands of Ring.
Court is just pouring it on.
This is where the cardio's the difference right here, Joe.
Certainly is.
Just what you talked about earlier.
This is part of his whole tactic. Drag you into the third round and make it so that you're engulfed by his attack. He gives you no room to breathe.
Ring has never been stopped as a professional.
He's going
Went the distance with Tim Boetsch.
Nick Ring just took a big gulp of air. He is exhausted.
McGee trying to be the first to stop him in his career tonight.
This is the
and
Court
now
McGee
the head
effect.
strikes are Court McGee's.
And he's just absorbing those shots now. And Court's standing right in front of him.
Nick Ring forced to be very defensive here late.
Nick's trying to cover up here, but he is exhausted. And Court is relentless.
And to fight at a pace like Court McGee's is absolutely astounding.
Nick caught him coming in there. Energized the crowd.
Had that lead left again, but didn't have the pop it had earlier. McGee's really gone to the uppercut a lot.
Yeah, Nick Ring is just hanging on here. You see as he's moving, he is completely exhausted.
See if anybody has any injury here, or pardon me, any energy there.
Man. More Court McGee constantly attacking. Nick Ring went for a shot just to try to stop the beating. Court's going for a choke. He's got a guillotine. Nick Ring wound up on top though. Court lost the position. He's got to keep struggling. 20 seconds to go here. He can't let Nick Ring be on top of him at the end of this round. In half guard, he's not in a position to finish this choke from here.
Both men so exhausted.
Nick Ring's got him in side control now. He's trying to get up.
Nick Ring and Court McGee go the distance here tonight in Calgary. The Canadian, with some effective striking in this fight, steps into the straight left. The judges rendering their decision. And here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Nick the Promise Ring.
Nick Ring earns the unanimous decision victory here tonight in Calgary. Nick Ring won by a very close decision on the show, and now tonight he wins here in the UFC.